Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Betty, and today we're turning our focus to Zijing College, dedicated to cultivating STEAM global innovation leaders, the creative engineering thinkers, cross-cultural collaborations, and interdisciplinary coordinators who tackle our world's complex challenges. Joining us is a key architect of the Zijing College vision, Zhang Ye, Associate Professor Assistant, Dean of the School of Architecture, and Faculty Advisor to Zijing College. Welcome, Professor Zhang.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Betty. It's my pleasure indeed to introduce Zijing College to all of you. But before I start, I would like to give you an overview about this college from a video.
Love to code, to build, to mold the future, and see your vision unfold? What happens when your brilliant idea meets a different culture? When your amazing solution needs to unite a global team? Suddenly, the challenge isn't just technical, it's human. Welcome to Zijing College. As Tsinghua University's first and only all-English undergraduate international college, we're a hub for the next generation of global innovators. Our mission? To forge a new kind of leader, the engineer diplomat, ready to innovate and connect across any border.
How do we do it? We immerse you in a global context from day one, breaking the boundaries of traditional majors. Here, we redefine engineering, expanding STEM by infusing it with A for art, architecture, and AI to forge a new path called STEAM.
You will forge your own path, choosing from 4 interdisciplinary directions. In information science, you'll harness data and AI to bring intelligence to every field. In advanced manufacturing, you'll fuse robotics and biology to redefine how we make, well, everything. In future civil engineering, you'll lead mega projects, from building sustainable cities to pioneering our future in deep space. And in design science, you'll architect the human experience where technology and art intersect. Across all these paths, through our unique scenario-based teaching, you'll team up with real companies and organizations to tackle live challenges, turning your ideas into impact.
I think it's one of the best colleges in the world.
The world is changing a lot, and China is emerging as a new world, and Tsinghua has a huge role in it.
I think having it all in English is really, it bridges this language barrier.
It brings international students from all across the world. It has a very good focus on interdisciplinary engineering and just learning and being able to pick courses from different subjects.
So I believe if I get into here, I can imply big ideas into real impact, to the real action.
I cannot wait to try out the new established courses, and I would like to pursue mechanical engineering, and my long-term goal is to become an aerospace engineer.
You'll be surrounded by excellence. Learn from world-class faculty with deep international experience. Live and grow in a close-knit residential college, forging lifelong friendships with peers from around the globe. Your learning extends far beyond the campus, with global study visits, field courses, and cross-university experiences that connect you with leading institutions and real-world challenges.
I post my daily life about Tsinghua over there. I've already I think I've started to inspire them, and they really like the life over here, and I would definitely 100% recommend Zijing College to them.
100% I will recommend Tsinghua University, especially my own college, Zijing College, to those of my Indonesian fellows who want to study in the best university in China.
So my goal is to become a better person when I graduate from Tsinghua and become someone that's worthy of the title Tsinghuaren.
I want to be someone who can make others feel stronger, they can feel happier, they can feel more empowered to do what they want to do.
I want to be a helper and a person who likes to connect different cultures.
Always curious, always wanting to learn more, always wanting to push myself and talk to new people. That's definitely something I want to become and I'm trying to become.
a Zijing graduate is different. You'll possess the hard skills of a top engineer and the soft skills of a seasoned diplomat.
You're not just a problem solver, you're a systems architect. Not just a professional, but an international coordinator. Ready to lead in a global arena, shaping the future of technology and collaboration.
It is great to practice the new STEAM education with so many young and talented students. I'm sure all of them will find the better of themselves and become conductors of the future orchestras of scientists, engineers, and artists. Welcome to Zijing. Welcome to Tsinghua.
So, you have the vision.
Stop dreaming it.
Start building it.
Let's
create what's next.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed the video and had a good impression about Zijing College and attracted by the video. But in addition to the video, I would like to give you a bit more insights to the following points about Zijing College to give you more understanding about who we are. So let's look at the first point, when A meets STEM. From the video, I guess you already get the point that A stands for arts, for architecture, and for AI. But what about when A meets STEM? Let me give you an example to illustrate this. This is basically a solar road from the Netherlands. Well, as many of you may know, the Netherlands is a country with very limited land resources. But when we want to increase the connections within the city through the cycle lanes, and at the same time, we want to transform the city using clean energy like solar panels, both strategies requires a huge land surface. But what if? What if we combine these two into one plane? Well, this strategy is not only make sufficient use of the land for connections for cyclists, but in addition to that, for energy production, and in the evening, it also provides a very romantic lighting conditions to guide the cyclist throughout the city and mitigating the light pollutions in the city. Let's break down this case example. If we follow the conventional engineering or the STEM thinking, we are very much likely to think from the problem-solving perspective. We're based on data and the physical laws to come up with solutions, such as the solar panel. But what about if we bring to the other extreme? From the artist perspective, what are they looking at or care about is how people feel. What's their emotional reactions? What's their aesthetic principles to create the conceptual form of the environment? However, as the future leader, as mentioned in the video just now, we have to think from the designer's perspective in a systematic way to look at how people really live the experiences, what's the user's behavior, what's the user's experiences, what's the whole process of it. And if we bring this three way of thinking back to the case study, we could easily imagine that without engineering to develop the pressure-resistant photovoltaic modules, and without the artist to create the Van Gogh's Starry Night through the lighting conditions of the panels, and without the designer to breaking this conventional thinking, to think out of the box and innovatively integrate the power generation panels and the transportation functions into one space, such a rational yet romantic concept wouldn't come to life. And this is what we mean by integrate A to the conventional STEM. When A meets STEM for the future, is basically a process for creative problem solving. It requires us to jump out from one single professions beyond one boxes and become the leader in your future expertise by bringing together skills, experts, imaginations, knowledge from different fields. And this is what in Zijing College you're going to expose to when A meets STEM. Let's move on to look at what really Zijing College is about. From the video, I think you get one key word, community. Yes, Zijing College is a community of future leaders with cross-culture, cross-disciplinary explorations. It's also a community of future practitioners with a creative mind, like what the case example just illustrated. But what is this community really comprised of in terms of its programs? We have 4 programs in Zijing College, from information science technology to advanced manufacture, civil engineering for construction, and also design science. The 4 programs, or pillars, if you like, would like to call them, are not separated from each other. As shown in this picture, it's all interconnected, related to each other, and form an integrated whole. And I would like to further mention that the program is not standing alone. The program is supported by 11 departments from the entire university, so ranging from electrical engineering to traffic engineering to urban planning architecture, landscape architecture, and automation, and many others. And we are not matching the department into different programs. In each of the programs, all 11 departments contribute and form an advanced knowledge base to promote our learning process. That's how the Zijing College becomes a community. It's also a community within the Tsinghua universities, bring the experts, students, professors, and staff together. And talking about this community, we have to look at the people. And in Zijing College, we assembled a large group of international faculties. And they all have rich international experiences and very strong academic record. For instance, we have our chief professors from different fields. For example, our dean, Professor Zhang Li, he's also the vice president of the International Association of Architects. And many other chief professors are IEE members, and some of them are presidents of the SAD branch. Of course, we have to mention that many of them are academicians of science academies of different countries around the world. And working together with the team of chief professors, we also have a younger group of faculties with great international exposures that can share with you their experiences and link you to different corners of the world. And for instance, myself, I worked in Singapore, National University of Singapore, for the past 12 years before joining Zijing College. And there are many colleagues like me working together as a big team. On top of that, I would also like to mention, in Zijing College, we introduced a very special mentoring system. It's a dual mentor system, which means every student will have a pair of mentors from academia and industry, respectively. So each student, under the supervision of their mentors, would have the opportunity to customize their learning based on their interest, to decide what would be the focus of their study in the upper years, and to tailor what kind of modules, courses to choose to formulate the knowledge base, to create the platform for them to apply the knowledge. So talking about our faculty members and the teaching teams, the mentors, we also have a special system to introduce to facilitate this process. So from the video introduction, of course you know Zijing College is the first undergraduate college fully taught in English. But this doesn't mean that the international students coming to Zijing College will be isolated. Rather than that, we want to focus on integration. We also offer Chinese courses for international students and vice versa for our domestic students. So in this way, we hope to bring the international students and our domestic students together in a big community, as I mentioned before. And because of this big community, we're not limited within the boundary of China or Tsinghua. We reach out to every corner of the world. So we have connections, cooperations with the world-leading universities, organizations to have the global dive program. For instance, we have exchange studies around the world at the top universities. And we also have organize visiting programs to multinational enterprise across different continents. And the internship program is also developed in the international organizations such as the United Nations, World Bank, to further expand the students' exposure. Talking about integration in the community, we also have a special teaching and learning environment created for our students, which we call the scenario-based learning. If you remember our aims to cultivate future leaders and innovative engineers, and we are not only looking at, bring different disciplines together, bring different knowledge together, but which is much more important is how we are going to apply the knowledge from different disciplinary fields to real situations, to address the complex problems stemming from the reality and the world around us. So in order to do that, we want to situate our students in specific scenarios, to apply the knowledge, to learn by doing, to further, in this process, create the community that our college value. And I will talk about scenario-based learning in the third part in more detail, but just to give you some example, when we bring design science and information science technology, we could looking at smart cities. There are lower altitude economies, there are smart transportations, and many other issues for us to address. And when we bring information science and technology with mechanical engineering, clearly we can look at embodied intelligence robots, which is arguably a most important part of our future life. And when we're looking at future construction and the design science, we could formulate creative ideas about how we're going to smartly deal with future disasters and hazards for our cities and for the broader environment. Okay, without other examples, let's looking at the last point, which I believe is what you concern the most for your application. What are you going to learn in STEM in Zijing College? For Zijing College, we have 4 principles to formulate our curriculum system. We offer you a thick base to consolidate your foundation. We offer a very wide engineering path, like I described in the 4 aspects, and many other possible focused areas. And of course, a multiple scenario-based learning process to allow you to apply the knowledge, to enhance the learning experiences, and with the deep global dive to reach out to different organizations and different corners of the world to expand your exposure. And building on these 4 examples of principles, we organized our courses in such a way. If you look at the right half of this donut diagram, you're looking at the light purple and navy blue color, which shows the foundation course and the general course of Zijing College. And proportionally speaking, it takes almost more than half of the curriculum space. And our aim of doing this is to consolidate your knowledge foundation that allows you can thrive and fly in the upper years. And in the upper years, specific courses will be developed for different majors which are related to the 4 programs, and many specializations from these programs that you can choose together with your mentors and under their supervision to tailor your study. And in particular, you also capture again the words, the scenario-based course, which integrated into different programs as part of the learning. And I will elaborate a bit more later on when I talk about the 4 programs. Let's look at the information science and technology first. Well, as mentioned just now, if you're curious about the robots, how the robots can transform the world, if you're curious about how the factories can operate autonomously, and if you're also interested about how the genes can affect our health and how we can edit our genes to improve our health, and lastly, how human brain, the core of our intelligence, actually works, the IST is probably your choice for advanced intelligent system. And in this field, you can really release your imagination. You can play soccer with robots and lead the robots national football team to compete for the World Cup. Well, you may also imagine that you can have a dance alongside with the robotic dogs. That's another interesting phenomenon of our future life. And practically speaking, you can also command the drones to boldly venture into the area, the uncharted area, unmanned area, for very complex and seemingly impossible tasks to further enrich our knowledge about our world. And in the realm of intelligent industrial systems, you can command the robotic arms to do many works for you. Or you can also think about the dispatched logistic vehicles for the swift shipment, and monitor the transportation status of materials in the real time. And of course, enable the factories to achieve the full automation and unmanned process. Back to the scenario-based learning in this program. The IST can be coupled with design science, manufacture, and construction. You can build your intelligent system through the specialized scenario-based courses by using sensors, wireless sensor networks, big data analytics, and information security. And I could give you some examples here. For instance, some students in the courses have designed an automatic water dispenser for the mice. And other students would tackle more real issues like traffic to enable the vehicle interactions in the intersections of the road, allow the vehicles to move around more safely and in the most efficient way. The next, what about future manufacture? The future manufacture is also focused on robotics. But the focus is a bit different. The main aim is to think about the robots as smart as humans, to equip the robots with the human-like perceptions, can analyze, and even more, making decisions with such a capability. I have to mention that this field actually led to remarkable achievements in China, including the development of China's first computer numerical control tools and the parallel robots used in the precision manufacturing of the Tianzhou spacecraft. It also includes China's first intelligent painting robots system for large aircraft, and many others, you may name it. And the future manufacturing is not about the conventional understanding of machines, aircrafts, trucks. It's also about biomanufacturing. And the Tsinghua University is one of the earliest institutions in China to pioneer 3D printing of human tissues and organs. And in addition to that, it also developed bioactive implantable devices. And with the biomechanical brain-computer interface that can be applied in many areas of medicine to advance our human process. The manufacturer when we talk about manufacture, we can't avoid the vehicles. And the intelligent vehicles are arguably a defining picture or defining signature for China nowadays. But it's not only the vehicle itself, it's rather a complex artificial intelligence systems. And this is also an important direction of the artificial intelligence industry application. So what we aim to form is the human vehicle road network cloud coupling network, that in this direction to provide a China plan for many complex problems around the world. And the vehicle industry also closely related to energy and power. And in this aspect, the focus is on the fundamental theories and the key technologies of new energy vehicle power and energy systems. So it's the energy supply and the energy complementary vehicle grid interactive energy system and explore the future energy and the power solutions to not just power the vehicles, but also for the entire urban network. Again, I would like to bring your attention back to the scenario-based learning. And from the perspective of a future manufacturing, I believe you already remember the key words is the robots. And the robots can think, behave, analyze like humans. And in such a scenario-based learning process, you can apply the manufactured technologies and coupled with the information systems, such as control systems, software design, and innovation intelligence to come up with your smarter and more advanced robots to better serve our human society. Let's move on to the future construction. What about this civil engineering? In this program, what are you going to learn? For this program, I would like to focus on two aspects. One is about the future transportation. This is arguably the most important and the largest playground for construction in the world. And in this area, the future transportation system requires the deep integration of the key technologies, such as mathematical modeling, operation research optimization, and artificial intelligence, of course. The aim is to establish a multidimensional collaborative intelligent transportation system. But be aware that it's not only on the ground, it's above the ground in the air, or even reach out to the surface of the moon. So we have the ground, air, lunar, interconnected transportation technology systems to be formed and providing the core supports for the development of this transportation powerhouse. And back to the students, such an environment, such a topic, and such an area would empower you to break through the current limitations and think beyond our understanding and cultivate the courage and the capacities to achieve many unprecedented feats. And moving to a larger scale and spending from transportation to the entire world around us where we live, which is our future smart cities. And this initiative is not unfamiliar to many of you. But the core technologies related to the future smart cities is an important part of our program here. such as urban modeling, the digital twins, the intelligent governance, altogether explores how to make the cities smarter and the development more scientific. And similar to the future manufacturing, from these two aspects and topic, you could also imagine creating a different kind of scenarios of the city, of the transportation, of the future construction systems that allows you to apply the knowledge. Last, when we look at, say, design science, what does this mean? From what I mentioned just now, you might have the sense that the construction, manufacture are closely related to each other. But design science, if you recall what I mentioned from the beginning, is the example about when A meets STEM. But design science, we're really cutting here from a unique perspective to enrich your thinking process. For design science, we can looking at, say, the historical heritage preservation with the digital twin technologies and any other AIs. We are able to create very fine-grained and detailed virtual environment for everyone to experience the beauty and the spirit of the traditional architecture heritage or the urban heritage in a larger environment. And moving back to our everyday life, using the intelligent technology, we can capture every single detail about our everyday life, or such as every movement in the cooking process, and where you find your place, where you fetch your thought, so that we have a very clear evidence about the scale of the space needed to create a better living environment for future residents. And we could also bring in robots into our environment. We create a smart robot system that can move by themselves, depends on the demands of the family. We could imagine that making the robots into modular systems, and the modular systems can grow across different scales, depends on the needs. And looking back to one's home, if we need higher walls, we need further separations of the rooms, we can easily deploy these robots to create new living spaces that are suitable for us. And lastly, well, probably this is something you never imagined. In design science, we actually reach out to the digital media and game design. Design science is not really about designing the physical world. And nowadays, with the deep penetration of digital technology, design also about designing the virtual environment. And to integrate the virtual and the physical environment into one entity for our future experiences to enrich our life. And from these perspectives, again, back to the scenario-based learning, we could easily imagine that design science can lead our exploration of the low-altitude economy, what the drones can do for us. We can creatively integrating computer vision technologies, lightweight material construction, communication protocols to design the future low-altitude transportation system. If you still recall the example I shared with you at the beginning of this talk, I believe you would be able to create new possibilities for our future low-altitude living. And if we move on to looking at design science married with information science and technology and the future manufacture, we could looking at the embodied intelligence in every part of our everyday life. This calls for a design thinking approach that break through the traditional boundaries and propose new possibilities for every corner of our everyday life. So after talking about the 4 programs of Zijing College, let's move on at the end to share with you a bit more about the life in our Zijing College. The first and also very important point, I think for all of you, is that Zijing College is one of the only 3 colleges in Tsinghua University that has its own independent dormitories, which means our students live together, study together, and play together. And if you look at our facilities, you could see in this picture, on the top left, that's the gym right at the basement of our dormitory. And we also have different corners for small group activities, for informal seminars, for different conversations, to promote the social exchange and the interactions between the students and our professors. So with all these facilities together in the independent dormitory, we create the physical environment for our community. And for our community, if you look at this picture, which was taken about four months ago at the beginning of the past semester, this is the first batch of Zijing College students. So 84 students from 23 countries around the world. And I'm sure that if you apply and get into Zijing College, you will find your friends coming from the same countries or share great interests together. And I'm sure you're going to make friends with them and benefit from them in your study journey. And in this community, we have different activities organized. If you recall what I mentioned at the beginning, we have different seminars. We have our deans interact with every single student in this college in the very first semester. And even in the first semester, our students already have a major achievement. They win the top prize in many competitions within the university and even beyond the university. And if you look at it in the middle, the picture is the Zijing culture we're going to create, which is the festival of Tsinghua Festival. This brings together all the mentors of every single student, have a freestyle interaction and exchange to explore the possible opportunities and roads to further develop their study. And it's not only about one student with their own mentors, it's about also between the mentors, between the students, and between the students and mentors forming the groups and clusters. And from this process, we hope we can develop a culture of Zijing College. And last, before I finish, I would like to highlight that through this journey, through your learning in Zijing College, what we aim to develop from you is your imagination. And even for the career development, it's not about the conventional professions we know today, because the world is changing very fast. They require you to lead and require your leadership to change the world. So you could imagine you become the solution creators to the system architects or international facilitators for any new opportunities or the emergent field of the world. So welcome to Zijing College, shape our common future with Tsinghua's STEAM program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Zhang, for illustrating how technology and humanity converge at Zijing College to create visionary leaders who lead our future. Here I would like to make 2 reminders for our viewers. If you're inspired to become a global innovation leader, start your application at apply.join-tsinghua.edu.cn. That's apply.join-tsinghua.edu.cn. In our final episode, we'll meet the panel from Zijing College, where leaders are prepared to govern an intelligent, digital society. Join us to complete the series. Thank you for being with us. That's Betty signing off. See you in the final episode. Bye.